Hey everyone, what's happening? It's me, Christian Colabelli, Product Manager of Effects Pedals here at Eventide, and I'm back with yet another episode of... Is it this way or that? This one we're going to be exploring a neo-soul, real vibey, sultry type tone, and we're going to be utilizing the TriceraChorus and the Blackhole pedal. And this is one where I want to get super 3D and vibey, and these two pedals really allow me to do that. Before we get into that, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and turn on that notification bell so you can receive all the latest and greatest info from us. Okay, so let's get into the video. All right, so first, I am going through the effects loop of a clean amp setting, think like a Fender Deluxe type thing, of the Kemper here. So here is my unaffected tone. Check it out. So about as clean as you can get, clean as a whistle there. And now I'm going to utilize a preset called PasChorius, which is based off of, this is actually created by one of my beta testers, Jonathan Moody, who is a bass extraordinaire, premier bassist, if you will, writes for Bass Player Magazine. And this one is actually modeled after Jaco Pastorius's chorused out bass tone. So let's hear what that sounds like. Okay, so that's that's real vibey. I just want to talk about what is giving it that kind of univibe, I guess pseudo flange type treatment. And that is actually the swirl button that I have engaged on here, which you can actually save as part of the preset. And I think that is a very characteristic, unique part of TriceraChorus. This swirl is not really like any swirl that I've heard in another chorus pedal. Again, it almost has like a univibe type quality. Listen to that. I mean, that's perfect right there. I could play that for hours on end. Super inspiring, and it gives it puts a lot of wind beneath the sails, if you will. So it gives you the sustain needed to capture like a passage like that, in my opinion. So again, that's that swirl button, and that is really what the crux of this preset is based around. I will say that we are in chorale mode right now, so it's very complex and rich, like a fine wine, if you will. And it just kind of puts it into overdrive in terms of like the complexity of the chorus. That's how I describe it. So again, just check that out. Let me just take the swirl off for a second, which you can do in EDM here simply by going there and clicking off. Just listen. Okay, so now let me put swirl on so you can really hear what's happening there. Okay, again. So see that wavy, that instant wave? So it's like almost like man, it's just got that psychedelic vibe that I absolutely love. It just kind of gives it a little bit more personality. So the center voice is off here. The left and the right voices are, you know, they're not super extreme. They're just enough to give that wide chorusing type sound. And again, when you're in chorale mode, think about that as like a more extreme modulation. So you don't need to have these voices cranked if you don't want to. It just depends on how complex you want this to be. that's pretty much it for this preset. Again, the swirl is the star of the show. This was modeled after that really rich Jaco type bass tone, and everyone knows like certain bass effects that when you put them on guitar, Fender Bassman, you know, if you play through a Fender Bassman, it just makes things super rich, super full. So that's the idea here. I think Jonathan did a great job creating this preset. Okay, so let's move over to Blackhole now. Okay, so as I've talked about in previous episodes, it's all about the yin and the yang. So again, here is what our preset sounds like just with TriceraChorus. Man, I can play that all day long. That is about as perfect as it gets. So let's bring in Blueshift from Blackhole and check it out. Okay, so basically Blueshift is giving or basically a modern room reverb, I would call it. It's not as vintage sounding as some of the other ones that I've created in my own personal space, but it's like a modern room. It's super clean, gives a lot of presence, and adds depth to this already super complex kind of sound that we have here, and that is present in a lot of R&B style guitar. You'll hear, again, some guys will go for the dry thing, but if you're gonna utilize this like vibey type thing, there's always a little bit of room reverb to give the guitar some, you know, some depth and have it just kind of fill up the room. Okay, so let's listen to that again. Okay, so let's talk about what's happening here. I've said it a million times, but again, the size and gravity knob relationship are super important here. That when you have the size rolled all the way off, which it is here, and the gravity closer to 12 o'clock, obviously we don't have the gravity dime, we're kind of rolled off here. That's gonna give you that little bit of room reverb that's happening here. I have my depth kind of in the center as well. Rate is in the center, no delay. This is just your basic standard kind of nice room reverb that gets the job done, and you can use it for every application and have it be super universal. And it sounds great in this pairing. I just want to show you one thing. If I bring the size up a little, this is something that I was experimenting with when I was crafting this, and bring the gravity to inverse gravity. Check out what happens here. We have a totally different vibe, but it's also super usable for this style, and you might want to consider it if you're going for this type of thing. Check this out. So now we have inverse reverb. Oh, I forgot it for a second. But see, I mean, that's super viable as well. I would honestly, maybe I would set the expression setting to capture that, because I think that's also usable in this style, and it gives it a totally different feel. That's like your B setting right there. I didn't think about that when I was initially creating the preset, but that's the beauty of these pedals and going through EDM and really, you know, just spending a lot of time with these things. It leads you to different worlds, and that's what we're all trying to do, right? We're on this tonal exploration, and we're trying to find new worlds. So let's now utilize both of these presets to create some music. All right, everyone, that's a wrap for this episode of Preset Alchemy. I'm getting better at the dab, slightly, between the intro and the outro. But anyways, yeah, these two presets combined really allowed me to capture that sultry kind of R&B, neo-soul, Instagram guitar type sound that is like hugely popular right now. And again, they will help you just achieve that sustain and depth that are just so attractive to guitar playing. So remember, like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know what you guys are working on in terms of presets and sonic explorations, and maybe we'll tackle a suggestion in a future episode. Who knows? Go to eventideaudio.com to learn more about the .9 pedal series. And this is Christian. I'm out. Stay creative. I'll see you on the next one. Peace.